There's certain things you cannot talk about on the interwebs. And so if you are caught talking about them,
yeah,
directly using the language, because then the AI will pick it up and be able to send it to them and say, flag it, check it out, destroy it, don't let it fester.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. And like the big C word, which now we're calling the jab, is kind of a
We
way
should probably change the jab, because I think even that has a possibility to be associated. You can call it happy.
Yeah, the happy rainbow pill.
War is peace.
The happy rainbow pill.
Freedom is slavery.
The happy rainbow pill.
Yeah, happy rainbow pill sounds pretty cool.
The sun came out.
And the sun came out. Hey, welcome to the Below the Trees podcast. We got a really great episode for you. We're talking about cancel culture today. We get into a little bit of weeds about what we think about cancel culture and its effect on content and creators, and as well as the platform. So, pull up a chair, grab some popcorn, indulge us with your time. This is the Below the Trees podcast. Hello, welcome to Below the Trees podcast. John, how the hell are you, buddy?
Sounds like you have a slur or something.
How the hell are you, buddy?
I'm
Just
good,
a little
bro.
bit of morning drinking. Nah, just kidding. Although I did, before I came here, I made some coffee. I texted you if you wanted coffee. You said no. So
I had my fix.
you had your fix, so I made some at home.
Yeah.
But we also got this chai powder from
Chai's good.
Sprouts. And so I've been making dirty chai.
Nice.
And dirty chai is just what the name implies. It's dirty. It's got
Raw
coffee in
cinnamon sticks.
Oh, yeah. Give me that raw cinnamon sticks. Uncovered, please. I want it raw. Well, actually, no, for real, we do have cinnamon sticks from Costco.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Vietnamese ones. And then we got the ground cinnamon sticks, too. I mean, if it's ground, so it's not a stick anymore. But we got some ground cinnamon from Vietnam as well. It's pretty good stuff. Quality. Top quality. But yeah, so I had
Quality
this
powder from Vietnam.
I had this dirty. Well, the way everything's marketed, right?
Uh-huh.
If it comes from like a foreign place, it sounds more mystique and like,
Sexy.
oh, that's better.
Sexy.
This isn't just regular old Kroger brand cinnamon. This is Vietnamese organic cinnamon. Oh, what the fuck are they doing in Vietnam?
Himalayan salt.
Yeah, Himalayan pink salt. It sounds
China.
Exactly. But damn, those Vietnamese, man, they make some good cinnamon. I use that every day. But so I made this dirty chai. It's this yummy powder, chai powder, and then I have this instant espresso from Sprouts as well. Pretty expensive stuff, to be honest. It's like $7 for a little jar. But it's damn good. But I think it's personally the best instant espresso out there. So I mix the two, boil up some milk, froth it, and make myself a little latte. A dirty chai latte. It's dirty. But how are you, man? What'd you do
filthy.
What'd you do this morning?
Just ran some errands with my dad.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing fun.
Where'd you go?
The bank. He got his pedicure.
You got a pedicure?
He did. I didn't.
He legit got a pedicure?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. From where?
It's Vietnamese.
I knew that was going to come. As soon as you said that, I was like, I got to go down this line. Did they use cinnamon?
It was a dirty massage.
Okay. That's a little rated X.
No, it's just rated fungus.
Oh. So what did they do? What did they do for something like that?
They raised their prices, apparently. Apparently it used to be $27 and you would get the whole thing.
What is it now?
$47.
Holy fuck. What changed?
Nothing. I guess presidents.
Yeah. They're like, hey, in honor of the new 47th president, we're going to raise prices $20 to $47. Oh, wow. That's taking advantage of a situation.
Well,
But, that's all right. How did it go? How did the pedicure go?
normally she ends up going home with like a $10 tip. Dad was like, no, you bake that one in now.
Gratuity included. Dang. So is which one does he go to? Nearby?
Yeah, it's like a strip mall place.
Is it over here?
No, other side. But
Okay. Well, that's cool. How does your dad feel? Does he feel cute?
I think so. I don't know.
No wonder his son walking around with
He's got a pep in his
he's
step.
like a little pep in his step, and he's showing off like, hey. No, just kidding. That did not happen. That was a fictionalized version of what happened. AK, it's not true. But interesting, man. Did you have a good holiday?
Yeah, just chilled with family. Nothing wild, nothing fun, nothing crazy. Just
Have you had a wild Christmas before?
yeah.
What does a wild Christmas look like? Do tell. This is a tell-all.
Kind of like not remembering how you ended up in a place, knowing that it started probably 3 other places, but somehow you're in this other place.
So where did you start?
It started from my house. Then somehow ended up in someone else's house.
Somehow I ended up in somewhere
Because it was another
the
party.
jungles
and
of
then
El Salvador.
Another after party. And
See, that's an after party for Christmas. I've never even heard of that.
yeah, well, I think it was like a friend Christmas.
Oh,
How it started.
Friendsmas?
And then
Is that what they call it? Friendsmas?
And then one of the other friends was like, "Yo, why don't we just like meet at my house? There's a bunch of people that are coming through to head over to see their family."
Interesting.
And so it was just like it was a makeshift party at some other house, and then someone else was like, "Yo."
Hey. Wait, how long did this Christmas last? Into the new year?
Not that long.
Okay.
But definitely the effects were there. Like by the 28th, you could still feel it.
Man, Santa was really giving that year, huh?
Yeah, it was a fun Christmas.
How long ago was that?
Like at least a decade now. For
Oh,
sure.
I thought you were going to say, it was last year.
No.
Oh, no, the year before, because last year would have been 2024. The chill Christmas.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, to be honest, I've never had a wild Christmas. It's not one of those. It's not a holiday you typically
It doesn't
associate with debauchery.
It doesn't happen that often when like all of my party friends are like literally congregating in the same place.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was kind of the chaos that happened.
It was sort of a sequence of events that unraveled.
Right.
This is the perfect chemical concoction for a reaction.
No, just motherfuckers that are there.
Right? That's basically chemistry, right? Motherfuckers that are there. There's water. That would have been a funny way if that's how the world was developed.
I think that's how the world was developed.
Yeah. Just fucking atoms and shit and organic chemistry. Just,
Adam and Eve.
Damn.
The strongest and fittest will survive.
I heard a funny joke about Adam and Eve, actually.
Okay.
It's pretty good. So these 3 nuns, they get into a terrible, terrible, terrible car accident. And actually, one of the officers on scene said it was probably the most gruesome accident he's ever investigated. All 3 of them burned alive. Terrible tragedy. Anyways, they're in heaven. And once at the pearly gates with St. Peter, St. Peter goes and says, hey, listen, we've had a lot of break-ins recently here in heaven. So we've instituted a test. So if you got to answer some questions to prove your fealty, so to speak. And so the nuns, all right, cool. And the St. Peter asked the first one, who was the first woman? And then she kind of looked. She's like, Eve? Correct. You're in. Not so super hard. Okay. And then he asked the next one, where did they live? The Garden of Eden? All right, you're in. Good job. Then, of course, Mother Superior. He asked Mother Superior, he says, what was the first word or first thing that Eve said to Adam? And, of course, she's like, good God, all these years in the field leading people to God and serving the church and my spirit, my soul, the eternal resting place of my soul comes down to this question. She looks at St. Peter. She said, that's a hard one. And he said, that's right. You're in. Because Adam, I guess he had a hard cock. I think that's what the joke was.
Thanks, Bryan.
So I heard that recently. That's what Eve saw. So good on the nun for knowing, right?
Adam's apple.
Adam's apple. Now, here's a question. Is that a joke you can get canceled on? Is that a cancelable joke?
Yes.
How do you figure?
Where's the virgin birth?
Jesus. Well, if we didn't get canceled after the joke, we're definitely canceled that. No, it's interesting, though.
And then I think the first, according to like ancient Greek, the first female was actually Lilith, not Eve.
According to the Greeks.
Yeah, and other texts, but Lilith was the first.
Lilith was the first.
Yeah.
Freaking St. Peter had it wrong the whole time.
Yep, so got it wrong.
Oh, that's interesting, though.
I can send you down the rabbit hole that will destroy and cancel all your religious beliefs, but that's another podcast.
That's for another podcast. Okay, interesting. Fascinating stuff.
But all right, if we're talking about cancel culture,
yes, let's get into today's topic of the video, cancel culture,
which we might already are
probably
canceled by
most
default,
likely, by
without
default.
even
By
trying.
the end of episode 1, we were
Probably.
done. We were shadow banned.
Episode 0 that never even got published.
They're like, these fuckers.
Not happening.
Don't give them a platform. They're done. We went from 40 to 15 viewers. Although we got 35 subs, so I appreciate everyone who subbed. Thank you. And all the viewers, too. Even the previous 40 or 30 or now 15 or 18, whatever. I don't care. It's all good. Thank you for watching us. It's still a lot of fun. But yeah, cancel culture, man. Where are we with cancel culture today in 2025, the first episode of the new year?
I was watching the Danny Jones podcast, and unfortunately found myself being annoyed by a few different episodes where, because of YouTube and the YouTube algorithm and the overlords,
Yeah.
if you say certain words, that'll trigger you to be canceled, no longer get your monetization. Might even delete the episode.
Really?
Yeah.
For certain words.
Certain words, topics, ideas, themes.
Is talking about cancel culture one of those themes? Because if so, we're stopping the video here. No, I'm just kidding.
Possibly.
Interesting.
But there's certain things you cannot talk about on the interwebs. And so if you are caught talking about them,
Yeah.
directly using the language, because then the AI will pick it up and be able to send it to them and say, flag it, check it out, destroy it, don't let it fester.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. And the big C word, which now we're calling the jab, is kind of
we should probably change the jab, because I think even that has a possibility to be associated, because these AI models, I'm sure they're smart enough.
All right,
to
so
figure that out.
the government needle, the DOD's needle.
No, that's even. I would say let's get a little bit more, even more PG, because
How do you become more PG
no,
while still
we can call it
calling a spade and not curtailing,
No, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
I think what I'm saying is that we got to keep coming and changing the vernacular around it so that we can kind of discuss those things without necessarily, because if you say the jab or the DOD needle, like those are obviously, those have connotations to it that are directly connected to
the Dungeons of Dragon needles. Come on.
No, we can call it the sickness.
The sickness.
Yeah, something that, hey, we could say the sickness, and you and I would be able to know what that means. I'm not saying we should.
I would
use
flip
that.
it. Like, why does it gotta be so dark?
Yeah, we can call it happy.
Yeah, the happy rainbow pill.
War is peace.
The happy rainbow pill.
Freedom is slavery.
The happy rainbow pill.
Yeah, happy rainbow pill sounds pretty cool.
The sun came out.
And the sun came out.
So
happy rainbow pill. We'll call it HRP.
Not XRP, HRP.
HRP. So you're talking about this HRP,
right?
The happy rainbow pill, which has no association with anything
other than Dungeons
and Dragons and World of Warcraft,
right? Needles
and Dragon Ball Z, because they take the happy rainbow pill,
right?
And that's how they reboost their energy in the show,
or die,
or die. of the thing that rhymes with biobarditis. No, okay. So HRP is one of those topics that you can't talk about,
right?
Yeah.
I think Epstein.
Okay. Now let's get into why Epstein is that like a touchy topic? Because I still see YouTube videos
Diddy
talking about Epstein and Diddy.
Yeah. Those get views, but like say too much and like you might get a new direction.
One Direction. I heard one of those guys, his career is falling down the well. God, no. Now that's cancelable. Okay.
Ton of breaks over the stairs.
So HRP, Epstein, Diddy.
Anything that has that word of what they're associated with.
Yeah.
Which is, how do we say it without saying it?
I don't know.
The thing that priests do with little boys.
It rhymes with pedophile.
All right, there's. Jeez.
Is that too obvious? No, but okay. So
HRP pill.
Let's think about this though. I think there's, at least the way I see it in my mind, there's two types of cancel culture. I think there's, you have, and I think this distinction is important. You have the distinction of the platforms and exactly guiding of what they can, what creators and podcasters and whoever can or cannot say about a certain topic without getting their video, shadow banned or flagged or as misinformation or whatever the case may be.
Disinformation. Malinformation.
Whatever acronym. But then I think the other one, which I think this one to me is on the fritz, is sort of the Hollywood style cancel culture where, someone said something, so now they're not going to be in any movies anymore or whatever. That still happens, I think.
For sure.
But I think that one, at least from my vantage point, seems to be a little bit more less pertinent these days. I feel like if you are not in, for whatever reason, maybe it's because your views as when if an actor talks about HRP or a director talks about Dungeons and Dragons or something in a way that goes against the heterodoxy, I feel like there's enough of an ecosystem out there where they can still continue to work, and it's less, the effects are less tangible than they were maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You have a lot of different organizations now who create content. a lot of people go and create their own content, and I think so it's giving them a little bit more freedom from the traditional studio model. So I think that one seems to be, at least there's some sort of counterbalance to it where it's not as detrimental to an actor or director or writer's career than it was, like I said, 10 years ago after Me Too or something.
Right.
But here's a question, though. How do you balance, like a guy like Weinstein, right?
Which one?
Harvey.
Oh.
The main dirty dog. Obviously, some of the stuff he did was pretty heinous. I think. Now, do you leave that to the court system, to the judicial process? And if so, let's say the judicial process, for whatever reason, doesn't work as intended, which happens, right? Is there a need for having that public opinion and court of public opinion to sort of right the wrong, so to speak? Is there any benefit to that, or is it mostly negative in your view?
If the people want to kill, the people will kill.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's what we're seeing with these latest acts of terror. And Luigi
Mangione.
So, anytime I think the system isn't fixing, people want to self-correct. And I think we're in a current mood with enough social media influence on showing violence, like we've talked about, seeing video games, like we've talked about, watching movies, TVs, lots of violence.
Yeah.
To now, people are acting upon it.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is now being broadcast, and we can see it.
That's true.
We can know about it. We can hear about it. Where maybe some of this stuff might have happened, but maybe it wasn't big enough. It wasn't a 9/11 event.
Yeah.
Right? So the fact that we live in a place where a 9/11 attack is possible, a Pearl Harbor attack is possible.
Yeah.
The Chicago White Sox can throw the World Baseball Series. It's possible. in a place where all of this is possible, right? That's where I think we get people who also believe they have the righteousness to cancel, destroy, kill. And I think canceling, right, is the same thing as like killing. Like you're essentially not letting something take off that could have, just because it doesn't align.
Okay, here's a question, and it's not necessarily. This is more for conversational purposes, not necessarily endorsing this view. But, well, what do you say to someone who says, "Hey, look, we look at media as a marketplace, right? Mm-hmm. And if because this person's actions, we in the market, we're not going to be in the market for that, and therefore we're not going to watch it." And we're going to share our views because that's our right to talk about what we think is important. Mm-hmm. And that influences other people to say, yeah, fuck that guy, or I don't want to be there. I don't want to watch that movie or read or consume whatever that media that person is creating.
Right.
Is there a place for that, though?
To an extent.
Where do you think?
Small communities.
So where do you think that the distinction is then between, hey, we as consumers are going to choose to consume what we consume based on maybe this person's character, whether that's right or wrong. Where does that line get blurred? And, when does it become, a problem with morality?
I think just inherently, by just us populating places, we're going to have these moral questions.
Yeah.
And so there's always going to be, good actions and evil actions. And I think in this society, at least here in this country, a lot of it is done with capitalistic undertones.
Yeah.
And so if you are a media magnet, you don't want anyone else to take over your monopoly.
Yeah.
So if you're a monopoly, you're going to make sure that you're the enforcer as well.
Yeah.
for all the rules and regulations to continue having your monopoly. And since this is a capitalist society, we are a God-fearing nation.
Mm-hmm.
That also inherently means that there's evil.
Yeah.
If we're a nation that believes in a God.
Yeah.
And so this battle between good and evil is something that is taught on an individual, at-home, community, neighborhood basis.
Yeah.
So if you live in a neighborhood where everybody is kind of already in fear because there's just chaos around you,
Yeah.
then I don't think that's going to be a good nurturing place for you to get good moral Christian Catholic values.
Mm.
You're going to be challenged regularly.
Yeah.
You're going to walk down the street and you're going to see what a pimp and a hooker looks like.
Yeah.
That's very different than growing up in a place where you're out in the fields, in the farm, and it's like you and nothing but your family.
Yeah.
Those morals are going to be very different because of the amount of people in proximity to you.
Yeah.
And so that is what helps drive what's going on the social interaction behaviors with people. So mom and dad, if they're there, kind of lay the foundation of things.
Yeah.
But it's also what their actions are. So if mom and dad are very capitalistic,
Yeah.
you might like building games, setting up, little empires and figuring out the strategy of overtaking, because that's how you move up in this world.
Exactly.
Because that's just the fact. You want to do good, you got to be good. You got to be really good.
Yeah.
You want to be the best? Well, either you do shady practices or you do something that stands out.
Yeah.
And sometimes the stuff that stands out the most, that excites, that causes emotion, especially when we look at the world of investing, we want to say, what are the 7 deadly sins that we're doing with this technology company creation business? Because that's where you're going to make money.
Yeah.
So this whole nation is built under that belief.
Yeah.
And your freedom to choose helps create literal economies.
Yeah.
For this to work, we need both. So that compass, it's really difficult to determine who's going to be, St. Peter.
That's a fair point, I think.
So when we see, or at least what I'm saying, when I see a podcast in this society having to curtail the whole thing by bleeping things out and leaving to your imagination what you assume is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's simple things like the Happy Rainbow.
Happy Rainbow Pill, HRP.
That's cause for concern. Because
Okay.
you're not free.
No, see,
You can't talk about things like you could.
I agree with you about a lot of what you said, but is there, just again for the sake of discussion, is there a distinction to be made where, hey, if the marketplace and what people are consuming, for example, says, hey, this is bad information, or this is obviously false, whatever the case may be, does the market need to reward those shows? I would say no. I would say even if someone, because there's a lot of information peddled online that are parroted as true or sort of behind the secrets and stuff like that. And that's kind of my problem with some of this space is when you talk about HRP is that there's a lot of fucking whack jobs out there too who aren't talking about, legitimate science or who aren't talking about, who are maybe alternative thinkers but are just way off the deep end where it's like, that's demonstrably not true, right? So I don't think as a YouTube should necessarily ban or anything like that. I think that's where they overstep. That's the distinction for me is if there's coordination in the banning of information, I think that's not necessarily right. But I also think the market's gonna and how good your information is Well, that really might not even be a big player either. Of how good the information is, it also depends on how it's said too. Is a big
Who said it?
Who said it? How it's said?
When it came out?
Exactly.
Who said it first?
Exactly. But still, on my mind too, I think some of those people are just not going to get the viewers, or because the content's not good. At the same token, so
Like us.
yeah, I mean we're at 15, so our content must not be that great. But no, I mean I just think it's an interesting discussion when you have to make those distinctions, because I do believe that there is bad information. I don't think we should purposefully or meaningfully stop the flow of information, no matter how bad it is, unless it's like calling for violence or something. I think that's probably the.
But what if it's also like so intelligently placed
Mm-hmm.
that it manipulates without knowingly being aware that you're being kind of manipulated into believing a certain issue.
Well, I mean, but that's the issue with echo chambers, right? I mean, that's all of this. That's, I guess, the problem with media today for me a little bit is that everyone, depending on who you listen to, how frequent you listen to them, your views are going to be distorted in some way or form by what you consume, right? And so, I, to some degree, even if it's good information, I think you're being, I mean, manipulate is maybe a hard word to stomach, or it might be, manipulation might be sound too, I mean, evil almost, malicious. But I mean, if you're stuck in your own worldview because of what you consume, I mean, I think that's fair to say. At some degree, you're being manipulated, right?
What are your thoughts on the Means brother and sister? Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, I've never heard of that.
Callie and the sister and the brother. But there's these two people who are going around.
Because I have zero clue.
Let's use the computer.
What are they called?
So it's Callie and Casey Means. They're making headways, talking about America. Yeah,
Those two?
these two.
Okay.
So their mom passed away, and the sister didn't complete her doctorate program as a medical professional.
Mm-hmm.
And they were on the Danny Jones podcast with Dr. Jack and I think Dr. Sharon. I can't remember her name. But they were just really berating them to figure out why. Number one, why are you so successful?
Mm-hmm.
How come you became meteorically relevant to the point where they were on Tucker Carlson and then Joe Rogan? So already those are 15, 20 million views.
Exactly. Right off the gate.
And sold one book together that they wrote together and sold millions of copies. So New York Times bestseller. First time that they wrote a book together. The sister isn't actually a doctor. She's just a doctor by initials, not by practice or trade.
Yeah, I think I was kind of read the snippet there. She left traditional medicine in 2018.
Right. But she cannot work with patients.
Yeah. Why is that? Is that by choice?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you either do that track where you're working with people or
research or something.
And so she was going towards the path of working with people and then just said, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So there was a decision. But then they're so big and popular. They have such a big microphone. That's what I was going to look up. The other doctor. Mary Bowden. is another doctor who was on there speaking with Callie Means and Danny Jones and Dr. Jack. So it was interesting to see how these two doctors are talking to this non-doctor, and how the non-doctor is trying to defend himself, his sister, his beliefs, and why he doesn't believe in the happy rainbow pill for himself, but wouldn't want to impose that on the American public to say, let's not continue giving out the happy rainbow pill. But he admitted, I won't do it to my children. I won't give it to my children.
Yeah.
But I won't go so far as to say it should be legislature that no one else should receive the happy rainbow pill.
That shouldn't be he shouldn't be.
It should not. It should not.
So he.
It should be researched and allow all the research to do the talking. And Dr. Jack is like, bro. Mary Bowden's over there like, bro. So it's this complete hit because Callie and Casey Means have taken over media.
Yeah.
Fully.
Yeah.
Not just on the side of the wild west of Podcastistan.
Yeah.
With Tucker and Joe Rogan, leading the charge on that side. But also mainstream media.
Yeah.
The New York Times best-selling book.
Yeah.
Weeks at a time now. They get so far as they get to sit in front of House of Representatives and they talk to them about Fruit Loops. And that's why Fruit Loops was in the media thing. And this guy...
What did they say about Fruit Loops?
That the formulas are not made the same as they are in Canada. That the ones in America are more addictive. The colors, the dye, all of it.
Well, it's funny. You look at that comparable food like in the UK or something.
But how did we go from the Happy Rainbow pill to Fruit Loops?
I don't know.
That's the question that they're asking him in this 3-hour conversation.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you doing that? When your microphone is so big and the problems that we're facing are so real.
Yeah.
Why are you talking about something else?
So
why are you distracting us?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Is that what Dr. Jack and Dr. Bowden posit?
Yeah. And kind of in the comment section, you can see how everybody feels about it.
What are some of the thoughts?
So in the podcast, like as soon as Jack just like starts really hitting on him hard, he's like, Jack,
calm him down or what?
Jack, please, like that's his defense mechanism, right? And everybody here, like, look, I'm not even joking. Just
comments here
in live time right here.
All right, well, let's read some of the comments here. The censorship and muting of words should horrify all in a free and open society is the first one on the video that I see. 2,000 likes, 129 replies. Danny, you deserve credit just allowing this conversation with minimal interruption. Podcasting done right, dude. I want to thank Danny for bringing this content to the public. We need more of this, more on these divisive topics. Old Uncle Jack is on fire. This is great to see, Danny. Well done. Looks like Danny was a great facilitator of this discussion. The biggest red flag from Callie is the fact that he pretends not to know about things he gets pressed on, but he expresses zero curiosity about them and doesn't ask any question, which shows he's obfuscating. Interesting. I'm an hour and 45 minutes in and haven't heard a single cohesive or substantive statement from the lobbyists. I've heard Jack, though, 5,000 times. Jack, why are you so angry? Because vast numbers of people have died, Callie. I totally relate to Jack's anger. God help us. So Callie won't recommend the jab to any of his family, yet don't think it should be banned. That says it all about this guy. I'm glad Dr. Cruz didn't let him weasel around. mRNA platform needs to be suspended, and we need accountability for crimes against humanity. Is it just me, or that guy did not answer a single question directly? Interesting. We should all thank YouTube for protecting us adults from words. We couldn't do it without you. That's a good one.
And this last one.
That was the last one. Here we go. Jack, 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 hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Jack, Jack, wait, wait, wait. Filibuster, filibuster, filibuster. Okay.
You haven't watched this.
No, I haven't seen this.
This sums it up right here.
Wow. Now, do I really want to watch it? That's
Yeah,
the
you
question.
should, because now next week you can tell us about your reaction
Yeah.
about this in live time, how you think these people have kind of, in a sense, controlled the narrative to certain things that they want. And it is kind of odd,
Okay.
just to feed you the whole thing, that this guy is an ex-lobbyist who used to work for companies that do work with Fruit Loops,
Yeah.
that now Fruit Loops became in the front,
Yeah.
and Fruit Loop sales did go up because obviously
Why
we're
not?
talking about it.
Why not?
So
I think I might go buy a box. as
that's
soon
a
as we
little
leave.
weird.
Yeah, it is a little bit odd. So when you, because obviously I haven't seen the video yet, but so they actually bleep out words.
Yes.
Interesting.
I watched them on Tucker. I saw them when they came across the side of Tucker, because that's when.
And they're bleeping out HRP and all that.
No. Not on Tucker.
No. On YouTube.
Yeah, on this podcast, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I can show you a couple other episodes of other YouTubers who have to do the same,
Because the video would get demonetized.
or just like tank
Yeah.
and get no views.
It's interesting. And so I think this is the important distinction I was trying to get off the front end, and is that when a platform like YouTube, Google, but the platforms determine what words are not appropriate.
Now let's think this through again.
Okay.
YouTube, Google, the search engine,
Yes.
is determining what words we can and cannot talk about.
Correct.
In written search and on video.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
No, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm
painting the obvious picture here.
Well, because if it were just a platform, right, which
Like Rumble.
where it's like, hey, we are going to host your content. We are not going to police your content. That's two different things. Whereas I think YouTube is treating itself as an editor and a publisher who has a lot more creative authority over the people who post content
Right.
on their website. The problem, though, I think too, is that YouTube is the preeminent website.
Right.
So you have the most traction, the most audience engagement.
Or you're just stuck in your own little echo chamber.
Exactly. But then YouTube is an echo chamber in and of itself, right?
It can be.
Right. I mean,
It depends on what you're watching.
that's true too. Yeah.
So it's you to self-police, and it goes back to that mommy and daddy that I was talking about.
Yeah.
And since we're all after the same almighty God here, which is the dollar,
Yeah.
this
And we're doing this for free, by the way.
monopoly here exists.
No, I mean that I agree with you. And I don't think I was here to debate you on that. I just think that distinction is important. You know, there is elements pushing back at least some part of the culture, especially when it comes to I guess more traditional media. I guess when we talk about movies and stuff like
Newspapers. That's why I brought up the White Sox.
that. Yeah.
Because how did we all? If you weren't there at the game, you weren't listening to the radio.
Yeah.
You had to wait until the newspaper thing came out, and then maybe a week later you found,
Yeah.
the mob, Chicago. What?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's interesting for sure. I definitely think what YouTube is doing isn't necessarily right. I think it's wrong.
Okay, so I'm gonna take this
Here we go.
moment to introduce something else.
We're going to introduce something else.
In an effort to kind of curtail echo chambers and silos.
Okay.
I kind of told you, talking about it, that I was thinking about doing it. So I'm doing a thing.
What are you doing? You haven't shared this with me before, so this is the first time I'm hearing it. You're going to get my honest live reaction.
We're buying a farm.
You're buying a farm?
Yeah.
Is it the one in Lancaster?
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're planning on doing events there, and another place for us we can do studio stuff.
Yeah.
Eventually do events.
Yeah.
So that's why I was telling you in a text. Yeah, I'm kind of doubling down on this.
Okay.
Because I have to figure this out on my own.
Yeah.
So
when you say we, so I know we talked about this, just not in the place right now for me to help with that at the moment. But was it you and your buddy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Did you get the price you wanted?
No. I'm the lowball king. If you get a message from me, it's going to be low.
Hey, the selling price is $200,000. How's 50? Didn't hear back from that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, congrats, man. That's huge.
More work, but we'll see how this works.
How many acres was it again?
It's like 2.5.
And it comes with a barn too, right?
Oh.
Nice. Good old Lancaster.
It's not Lancaster.
Oh, where's that?
So technically,
Rosemont?
it is Lancaster, but it's specifically Nenach.
Is it like a neighborhood?
Yeah, and it's like right in the middle of like the 138.
Okay.
So it's not like out in the outskirts, but like right off the 5 by the 138.
Right off the 5. Okay, so it's in the other direction. Okay.
So it's not like deep. It's literally
As soon as you take the 5 and get off on 138,
Mhm.
the old road.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That's cool.
So it's kind of like a landmark in the area. So
That particular farm?
yeah,
Well, why is it? I mean, because of the.
you can see it everywhere. You look up a picture of the area, and that's what pops up.
Oh, you own a landmark.
Buying the town.
Buying the town. That's exciting.
Yeah. Well, have to do something.
Yeah. It'll be fun cultivating the land. Are you going to grow stuff?
Probably, but water's a real issue.
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty dry up there.
I have other plans, but that should help cultivate our own little echo chamber.
I mean, the reality is that everything is kind of an echo chamber these days. You can't really listen to anything and not get kind of pigeonholed into that group of things, at least for a period of time, and then you get out of one and you find something else, and then you just go into a new echo chamber. So I guess it just depends. You probably need to go to different echo chambers every so often,
Right.
and then you have a better balance. But yeah, so what do you think the fix is for YouTube, or is it ever fixed? I'd say probably never is fixed. What incentive does YouTube have to change?
Nothing. The monopoly stays the monopoly.
No. Now, do you think this is maybe collusion with the government? That the government
Has
pushes
to.
these things?
Yeah.
I think in the Twitter files that they reported, FBI was in contact with Twitter officials about that type of information.
Oh, 100%.
So that's something that's still going on.
Why wouldn't it?
Well, I'm not saying why wouldn't it. I'm just saying making that observation. I mean, there's no incentive for change to happen.
There were threats that happened in the beginning of this year, Brian.
Threats.
Like the country was attacked, wasn't it?
This year? The
Yeah.
New Orleans attack?
Yeah. That's how we started. We started this one with a thump.
A little bit of terrorism.
A thump in a Cybertruck.
Oh, it's I have purposely not looked too much into it. I do. I have seen some stuff, but
Did you see the video?
no, I didn't see the video.
Start with the video.
Well, my purpose, I'm gonna give it some time to kind of the dust to settle before I go on my deep
A
dive
threat
with
is a
it.
threat, bro.
I'm gonna give myself some time to I'm gonna give it a little bit of time to breathe and have the dust to settle before I really make any judgments or anything more than the basic fact pattern.
Toxic fumes.
But I mean, a lot of people. That was 10 or 12 people killed.
I'm not a statistician.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. And that's really the shitty part about these things. It's just the loss of life is tragic. I'm getting a phone call. That's a terrible time to get a phone call and interrupt this train of thought. But yeah, no, that's the sad part. The violence.
Oji was a good running back.
I heard, and this could be a rumor, he's got really handy skills with a knife. He ran away really fast. So, is that what we're talking about? Is that still cancelable?
Probably.
I mean, the guy's in his grave now.
So is Cosby.
Cosby died? When did he die?
Last year, 2 years ago, yeah.
I didn't realize he fucking died. Really?
Yeah.
I gotta look this up. Hold on. Look this up. Did Bill Cosby die? Bill Cosby. I think he's still alive. Yeah, he's still alive. What are you talking about?
Oh, he's still alive.
Bill Cosby is... You got to look for the was. The was is usually the important word there. But William Henry Cosby is an American retired comedian, actor, and media personality.
Thought he was dead.
No. Yeah. What?
Fruit of the Loom? What are all those called?
Fruit of the Loom?
The cornucopia and the Fruit of the Loom?
The underwear brand?
Yeah, but like the pretext of us getting things confused.
The Mandela effect? Yeah. I don't think that's not the Mandela.
Mandela's actually dead.
Yeah, he's been dead.
No, but that's how it started. It was questioning whether or not Mandela was alive or dead.
That's true.
He's dead. That dude's dead. Oh, he's alive? He's the president?
Madeo. It was a big deal when he passed away. I think it was 2013 now. It's been a long time. Almost 12 years. But for some, it's been over 20 years. That's an interesting thing, the Mandela effect.
Right.
When you think about it, like, everybody, do you remember the movie Shazam?
Right, we were talking about this.
With Sinbad?
No, my family and we were talking about this. But yeah. And it was like, that never existed.
That's so weird.
Never happened.
I remember seeing Sinbad as a genie.
And I showed them the poster of Shaq.
Kazam. Yeah. See, I remember that one too.
Right. That was real. Shazam
real.
Wasn't.
At least as far as we know
Can remember now.
That one always gets me. I think that's the only one that's like, man, I'm pretty sure that existed. But they have other ones like the Bernstein Bears is the Berenstain Bears.
Right.
Or
the cornucopia.
Yeah.
And the Fruit of the Loom. It was there or it wasn't there.
Oh, that's right. Now
you're catching on.
Now, I'm a little slow. I'm not very smart. Definitely the little brain. But what was I going to say? The fucking mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? Is not the right one.
What?
For Snow White.
What about Snow White?
Does the evil queen say, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And just be honest.
I don't know. But I'm going to say yes.
She does say it.
I think so.
She doesn't.
She does not.
She says, magic mirror on the wall.
Magic mirror.
Yeah, which makes more sense than mirror, mirror on the wall.
Mirror, mirror is like the Bloody Mary stuff, right?
No. What, Bloody Mary, I think you got to do like 3 Bloody Marys in the mirror in order to conjure something.
We speak English. We're casting spells because we're spelling things out.
Yeah, that's right. No, but what I'm saying, though, is it's not mirror, mirror on the wall. It's a magic mirror on the wall.
And that's what makes it a spell?
Well, no, because the mirror is magic. So, you never seen Snow White?
It's been at least 20 some odd years or more.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
Came out, what, 1937, I think. It was Walt Disney's
Yeah, I was
first major
4,
production.
Brian.
You were 4 and 37? I thought you weren't even thought of.
My dad wasn't even thought of.
Yeah, that's true. Or maybe.
No.
Okay. What year was your dad born? 42?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, probably not. 5 years. Your grandpa probably just didn't even have it in him yet. What year was your grandpa born?
Like 1880.
18. Oh, so he had your dad old.
Yeah.
How many brothers and sisters does your dad have?
I think in total like 6.
Oh shit! Yeah, is he one of the younger ones?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
The last hoorah.
The last two raw. I did the ancestry of my great grandpa. He was born in 1918 or 1917, one of those two. And he died in 1995. I was 3 years old. I remember him vaguely. He's a nice guy. Hope he's doing well.
St. Peter. Bill Cosby.
I think he knew what Eve said to Adam, or he sure knew what Adam said to Eve. Bend over. No, I'm just kidding. We can edit that one out. Is that what would Adam say to Eve? Probably, if they're procreating and stuff. But that's the question: did they procreate before or after the first sin? I think it was after. That's a question for theologians. There they are. The drones are back.
Jesus Christ.
Has the drone kept coming back since?
No. This is literally the first time.
What a fucking shit show. We got a drone audience again. Our last episode, which was, a couple weeks ago now, that we recorded and posted like 10 days ago. That,
That's why the bird's freaking out.
Yeah. The drone is back. Maybe they just fly on Fridays and you're not out here to notice it. That's crazy. It probably just a coincidence, but it's a funny one, that's for sure. Is it the same damn drone too? I can't even see it. I hear it. It's in the clouds somewhere. Oh well. We got a drone audience. It is what it is.
Anywho.
So that was the first time the drone has come since we last recorded. I still.
Bro, I'm right here. I'm out in the garage. I'm chilling. I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm out here. I'm gardening. Yeah, no.
Interesting. I hear the police going by.
We're going to catch all that.
I wonder what's going on.
Bird flu.
It's interesting. Yesterday, I was in the great city of Carson. Great city of Carson. We had to go to my sister-in-law's house to drop off some stuff. And on our way to her house, not one, but 6 Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies were rolling code 3 to something. I don't know. Code 3 is the lights and sirens, I think. And just lights and sirens. I mean, they're fucking hauling ass. This is, I think, the most cop cars I've seen for something like that in a long time. I still don't know what happened or anything. But then as we were leaving, we got back on the freeway. There was an additional 4 police cars with lights and sirens, this time by the freeway. But they just looked like they were bullshitting, like they just finished something. But 6 cars went north, and I guess 4 cars went the other way. So who knows what was going on? It sounds like a lot's going on right now, too. It is Hawthorne.
Shots fired.
It's a good community, though. It's probably, my guess, probably a traffic accident. It's my guess. Pretty big one, too. See, it's right here. Who knows? But, John, in summary, though. These drones, I'm telling you, they throw me off track. I've got a one-track mind.
Oh, no, why am I downloading that?
Just so you know, John downloaded Bill Cosby's Wikipedia photo. It'll be in the thread. Oh, and we got his more recent photo. Looks like the prison photo that he's in right before release. Do you think Bill Cosby will find this episode funny?
Not quite.
No, probably not. But yeah, Bill Cosby will be in our
No, you won't.
in the thumbnail.
No, you won't.
Talk about cancel culture. He's the face of it. But that's what happens when you're a sexual sadist and you're drugging women, I think, right?
Oh boy.
Is that cancelable?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
So do you think they're going to curtail this video?
Bro.
You can edit it out. It's okay. You can beep it out. Okay. Well, I think man, this fucking we got the drone, the police going on.
Let's just call it.
Let's just call it. But I want to summarize. John, in your opinion, one word answer. Is cancel culture good or bad?
Bad.
I gave you that really strict guideline of one word.
And I went for the smallest word I could think of.
Well, I gave you the two to choose from.
No,
Good.
there's more words.
Cancel bad.
I could have said maniacal. Evil.
Evil.
Heathens.
Yeah, you know, I agree with you though. I really don't think there's anything we can do about it other than, just continue having conversations. But I think the only real alternative if someone wants to be free of those constraints is just go to a different platform altogether. But there's only trade-offs. There's no such thing as a good or bad or better. It's trade-offs because you go somewhere else. Our 15 to 20 views will go to 1 to 5 because there's less traffic. YouTube has the traffic, so you have to unfortunately play by their rules in that ecosystem, which sucks. Now, especially if there's government coordination, which maybe there is. I think the evidence says there is, but at the same token, it's just like this is where the eyeballs are. How do you escape that?
Right.
How do you escape the matrix?
Right.
You can offer people the red pill and blue pill, but at the end of the day, I think
Everybody's got to have the rainbow pill.
everybody has to have the happy rainbow pill.
Happy rainbow pill.
Yeah, I see. Doesn't that sound way better than the previous vernacular we used?
The happy rainbow pill. We should tell Dr. Jack.
Hey, he might bring us on the show.
We'll talk to him.
Dr. Jack Cruz. Do you think he'd come here? Probably not.
Absolutely fucking no. He hates LA.
Where does he live?
El Salvador. He's currently in Patagonia, though.
Oh, he's in Patagonia? Wow. That's pretty cool.
Arctic Circle.
Yeah. You think he has a nice big jacket? Dr. Jacket Cruz? All right. I'm a bit on a time constraint. That's why I have to end a little bit earlier today. But we'll be back with some other great topics. Actually, I think this is a very successful episode. I think we really hit some of these topics pretty good. But on that note, thank you for watching Below the Trees podcast, the abridged edition. Because it was a little shorter than normal. But do all the normal YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, we shit on YouTube sometimes. But you know what?
You don't pay my bills.
You don't pay my bills, YouTube. You don't pay us anything. So we're going to do what we want and have a good time doing it. And if we have to bleep out some words, well, we'll just call it HRP or come up with some other 3-letter acronym to maintain the guidelines while maintaining integrity. This is the Below the Trees podcast. Thanks for watching.
Keep it below 65.
happy with it? Okay. I'm happy with it. Below the trees, bitch.